If you want to do a little research and maybe Google weird museums in the United States, you know what comes up? Well, there's the Neon Museum in Las Vegas, the Mustard Museum in Middleton, Wisconsin, the Spam Museum in Austin, Minnesota, and of course the International Banana Museum, that's in Mecca, California. And yeah, there's even one from Idaho, and that would be the Potato Museum in Blackfoot. There's another Idaho museum, though, that you won't find on that list. I don't know why, but probably because for at least one man and probably a lot of others, being clean or the pursuit of cleanliness isn't weird at all. Today, as we continue our countdown to KTVB's 70th anniversary, we are taking you back to September of 1995, when John Miller and Exploring Idaho took us to Pocatello and the beginnings of the Museum of Clean.
All these little trinkets you have signify something that has to do with cleaning.
Pardon his bathroom humor, but Don Aslett has worn a lot of aprons in his day. Seems the cleaning king is also known as Don Juan of the John.
We're proud of what we do for a living.
Maybe Don's collection of bathroom cleaners has gone to his head. He's got them all from Congo cream wax to kitchen cleanser.
Oxidol.
Don's obsession with cleaning and toilets began swirling out of control back in his Boy Scout years.
That's a little baby toilet. That was just the thing I used for my neckerchief. It really worked.
And Don really worked, cleaning his way through college.
Good exercise, a lot of fun, and paid my way through school.
And it paid off later as Don began taking his toilet trinkets to the big cities.
I've been on Oprah and Sally Jesse and Regis and CNN. I do a lot of national shows.
And wherever he goes...
You walk through airports with him.
Oh, yes. And, you know, I wrote on a fragile. If you drop it, it'll spill on you.
No problem if you're wearing the Mop Your Heart bra. Willie Mop Nelson can handle any spill. The mop on this handle's from the turn of the century.
Cleaning is the world's oldest profession.
A profession that's become an obsession for Don.
Here's kind of another unique broom. This is when you first got married, you bought this broom, and then when you got old, you had a cane, you know, when the broom wore out.
They're all worn out. Like old dinosaurs, these prehistoric picker-uppers are pretty much extinct.
That's a Packard vacuum.
You probably remember all the old names.
The first Electrolux.
If you're old enough, you might remember how they worked. Or didn't work.
Boy, you really had to vacuum to get anything done with that.
Don's more interested with the way they went.
And the bella went, see that thing, how that goes in there? And you put your mop down and it went doing, 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 doing. This is what we call a Texas broom. I guess they did some tall sweeping in Texas.
It all makes you wonder how one guy could be so hung up on housework.
Cleaning is just fun. You get good exercise. You learn a lot. You meet a lot of people. It's refreshing. And you accomplish something. So it never has been work.
What has been work is collecting all 1,800 pieces.
Basically, our end goal is to have a Disneyland of cleaning museum where people come and buff and vacuum.
And maybe even go like this.
Okay, so a lot has changed since John met Don Juan of the John in 1995, or as he calls himself, the Colonel of the Urinal, I think is one of his nicknames. 11 years later, in 2006, Don bought a building in downtown Pocatello. Then in 2011, Don moved out of what, as you saw, looked like a storage room and had realized his end goal of having a Disneyland-like cleaning museum, as you just heard. We caught up with him last week to ask him about it. Hi there. Walking in. You know, we've waited nearly 30 years to talk to Don again. What's another few moments?
How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm 88 years old now. I'm getting a little slow, but hanging in there.
That's amazing. We had a reporter back in, I believe it was 1995, that came to visit you. And so we wanted to talk to you about kind of what's happened since he talked to you. So since then, I understand you spent like a lot of your own money to build the museum.
Quite a few millions to do it. Yes, it took a lot to do it.
So it's a good thing Don made a lot with his cleaning company, his cleaning products, and his 40 books about cleaning. In the middle of all that, Don started collecting cleaning antiques, acquiring the largest inventory of pre-electric vacuums.
So I needed a place to put them, so I ended up buying a whole city block here in Pocatello. They paid several million for it.
He renovated an old warehouse and now has 75,000 square feet of scouring stuff scattered over 3 stories. And this was the ultimate goal the whole time?
My ultimate goal in my life was to sell the value of clean language, clean teeth. You start looking clean solves almost every problem in the world, Brian. And so that's what I'm doing. And it's been really a fun thing to do.
To still love to clean, and you still love to go to the museum.
Every day I go to the museum every day and do tours. Yesterday I did about 10 tours. There's 33,000 museums in the United States, and I think mine's most important.
Pretty good. Back in 1995, Don had 1,800 pieces, as you heard in the story, in that collection. These days, he has more than 5,000 pieces. And expect to get your hands dirty at the Museum of Clean, not literally, but there's plenty of tools of the trade for you to try while you're there. And they still do those school tours, as you heard. Don says he does the guiding all by himself.